Certainly. I believe this map is... I'm not actually sure what version it is, but this is Shakura's Plateau. This is a Terran versus Terran in Team Knight versus QED in the FSCT, which is the Fusion Slugs clan tournament. In the top right of Shakura's Plateau, we do have, spawning as the blue Terran from QED, Bloodymyst. And in the top left, spawning as the red Terran, we have from Team Knight, Faith Hunter.
Fantastic. Alright. Thank you for clearing that up. Alright, cool. So, alright, so Bloodymyst, I'm just trying to remember, it's, by memory, does he play much different than Atsy's kind of style of turtle till you're safe, I guess, and then hit when you can, or I guess that's the standard Terran play, actually. Is there any, like, kind of little, interesting facets, I should say, to his play that's different to any other kind of Terrans?
Yeah, well, Atsy, he really loves his bio compositions. He uses bio in actually every matchup, so he's really comfortable with playing aggressive and really looking to drop and really play, you know, up in your face if you're the enemy. Whereas actually Bloodymyst does prefer a bit more of a passive game. He will be looking to probably play very positional on this map, Shakura's Plateau, with, I'm guessing he's going to be using Marine Tank because that would be his favoured style on this map, considering... oh dear.
It's only a matter of time.
As I was saying, yeah, the split map that we do have on Shakura's Plateau, where really any push has to be funneled through this central area between the watchtowers, really allows for a really good positional control with Marine Tank. He will look to sit the tanks on top of the watchtower. We have seen that from him before. If you cast your mind back to the Time of Rising versus QED clan war, where actually QED's Bloodymyst did pick this map against Time of Rising's Spook, and they had a really great game with some really interesting positional play. So drops will be really important on this map to kind of bypass the central location where, you know, pushes are going to get funneled into and absolutely decimated by tanks. So yeah, Bloodymyst will be looking to take gas probably earlier than we saw Atsy taking gas.
Yeah.
But he will look to start out with a bio force, obviously getting the 1-Rax expand up really quickly, and then he will transition into heavy tank with Marines, maybe, obviously Marines, some medevacs, and maybe even some Vikings just to maintain the air control.
Yeah, now I like the decision by Faith Hunter here to do an in-base CC. He will lose, of course, the time that it takes to fly over and get established with the mining, but he's been able to set his base up in such a way that Bloodymyst has no idea that it exists, at least at this time. So Bloodymyst has to kind of keep scouting every now and again. He might have to spend a few scans that he doesn't necessarily want to, or at least sacrifice a few more units just to kind of tick things off the list of what could possibly be coming at him.
Yeah, I don't think this will actually affect Blood's build too much at the moment, because he will be looking to throw down a bunker eventually, and more often than not you'll see a lot of Terrans using the first 50 energy once the orbital and the natural actually finishes morphing, using that into a scan to just check what tank path the opponent is going down. So if he does do that, he will be confirming that his opponent is actually going for a 1-Rax expand.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have both players now getting their spaces established, with Bloodymyst going to be maintaining a little bit of an economic edge, managing to get down that CC on the low ground. But yeah, as you said, he does maintain, Faith Hunter will maintain the element of surprise for just a little bit longer.
Yeah. And I like the decision by both players to throw down that bunker again. I don't know why. What is happening with that? that was loud. Alright, so...
I believe that's fridge trolling.
Alright, yeah, so anyway, so with... Oh, another and a factory coming down as well from Faith Hunter. So with the amount of gas that he's going, he's probably looking at maybe as soon as as the factory finishes, just throwing down that reactor on it and then transitioning into medevacs. But yeah, no, it's fairly safe builds at the moment from both players. Bloodymyst just moving all his marines up to that kind of drop point in his base just in case something comes out. But yeah, no, it's going to be a bit of a passive moment from both players at the moment. And yeah.
Just both going to be getting established into the mid game where they will have their reactors with the medevacs up, and getting the upgrades from the engineering base started is really the most important thing at the moment for both of them. And yeah, just playing a bit passive for the moment, as you said, setting up for the mid game. And actually, I think the timing on both of their engineering bays was just a little bit late for it to line up with a nice timing push for the medevacs. But we do see quite a bit of a differentiation in the build here, which is quite important to note actually. Faith Hunter will be going for tanks from the factory straight away. Actually threw down a tech lab on that factory, I believe, and now is throwing down the starport, the reactor on the starport, rather than opting to do a switch over to get those medevacs out just a bit faster, which will delay his medevacs by quite a while from Bloodymysts. But as we saw last game, that really doesn't mean that he's at any sort of a huge advantage in terms of winning the game or anything, but it will allow his drops to get out just a bit faster. But on the flip side, it will allow him to get tanks out a bit faster. So we'll see how that plays into this map and these close air positions.
Yeah, interesting. Both players actually got supply blocked on 62. So that's... Oh, I don't know, that was just a bit weird. A bit, what's the word I'm trying to say? A bit supernatural or something like that. A bit spooky that both got like supply blocked on the exact same kind of mark. Looks like Bloodymyst has actually been able to make the most out of it so far, throwing down his third command center. So it looks like he's going to be trying to make the most out of this passive game as it progresses so far, and he's probably going to be able to maybe catch this SEV. He sees it, and the SEV is going to make its way up to try and scout if there is a third base or not at the moment.
Yeah, and actually the SCV does see the positioning of that bioforce, and he does now know that Bloodymyst will be looking to push out with at least combat shield and a couple of medevacs. I don't know if he has stim yet, obviously, but he will be looking to exploit a timing attack similar to how Atsi did in the last few games that we saw from him. But yeah, as we saw, as I mentioned before, the engineering bay for both were a bit late, and actually Bloodymyst didn't start this. We are going to have an engagement in the middle here.
Nicely done.
Yeah, just managing to get one hit off with one of the tanks, but really good game sense there by Bloodymyst, managing to pull back all of his forces before really taking any sort of losses at all.
So it looks like Faith Hunter wants to kind of set up a bit of a contain in the middle at least, or just trying to establish his third base, I guess. Yep, so that's coming down as well, so that'll be why he's kind of set up these tanks in the kind of layout they're in at the moment. Just gives him vision, or not vision, but kind of a defensive perimeter, I guess I'll say, just across the at least two of the entrances quite well.
Yeah. Actually, he was trying to establish a bit of middle positional control, which is what is really the key in this map. But actually, Bloodymyst is going to bypass the kind of perimeter defense that Faith Hunter has, dropping into the main. And actually, there is a tank in here that could see the behind that line. In a great position here, actually, with Bloodymyst. This position really is almost unassailable by Marines, and just decides to pick up with medevac and drop on top of it, but it could potentially get sniped by the Marines, and actually Bloodymyst just going to have free reign over Faith Hunter's mineral line, and smartly Faith Hunter does go and build a tank, but he has lost the entire mineral line of SCVs in his main now. 19 SCVs killed for Bloodymyst, but only one of Faith Hunter. And
Nicely
now
done.
Bloodmist going to take a commanding lead in this game, managing to establish his third already. It's already up and running as an orbital, and he has a huge 60 supply lead over his opponent at the moment.
Yeah, no, he's just going to make sure he doesn't do the same kind of thing that unfortunately happened to Atsi in that last game, where he had a lead as well, but just that one unfavourable engagement kind of spelt the end for him. So he's just got to,
And actually, Faith looking to counter drop, but it was spotted by the medevacs of Bloodmist returning to the main army, so he is going to drop his own base now, just to defend from the drop that is coming from Faith Hunter, and might even catch this medevac out of position. No, it does pull it back, so Faith Hunter with the good micro and awareness to pull that back does manage to avoid some unnecessary losses there. Bit unlucky to catch those medevacs as they were flying past though.
Yeah, interesting that he chooses to actually set up his third kind of at the position that it is, rather than using the vision that he gets from that sensor tower and displacing it down there. And also that he's morphing it into a planetary fortress. It's kind of an interesting position, but Bloodmist might just... So he's going to see that drop at least coming, so maybe he'll be able to get some units in position to kind of stop that from doing any damage before it can.
Yeah, and as you were saying just now, the pocket third is really nice to defend from any sort of drop play, but it can play against that at the same time. It can be a bit of a double-edged sword, as you can fall victim to some really obnoxious elevator play from the mineral line of the third up into the main, and some sort of shenanigans like that. But we do have a drop coming from Faith Hunter here into the middle line of Bloodmist now. He is going to pull all the SCVs away. Faith Hunter is just going to have a bit of a field day on these supply depots, and actually is going to hardcore supply Lord Bloodmist here, managing to take out a couple of depots. Will put him 20 supply into the red. Actually, might lose a couple of medevacs for 3 here. The turret isn't core, just manages to not take out that medevac, and he does actually get away with every single marine, choosing to leave one behind to make sure he gets the last hit on the depot there. But we do also have a drop in the line of the natural, and a lot of SCVs right there from Faith Hunter, and the balance is swinging back in his favour now. 20 SCVs killed to 19, and he will actually manage to pick up his tank. So really great double drop here, stretching the multitasking of Bloodmist.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
It does get cleaned up, but
yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be able to actually take the work lead after that initial drop from Bloodmist, but he's back in front, and Bloodmist in a bit of an kind of a scary area here, as both armies are now moving out to meet in the centre of the field.
Oh, this is very dangerous. Who's going to get the siege up first? Faith Hunter actually does get a nice siege up, and actually Bloodmist just going to charge in and take out all the tanks, catching the marines just pulling back a bit too far. Not even going to siege up this tank actually. Is he going to kill all the tanks? Oh, he's just lost the entire army. And that's really unfortunate for Bloodmist. He's now dropped so far behind in the supply count, and he actually did have the army value just before, but he has got his army in the middle shut down, and there's not a lot back at home to defend from a follow-up push from Faith Hunter, and it looks like that's what's going to be coming here, bearing down on the third base. Bloodmist now transferring 2 mineral lines worth of workers back into his natural, just to make sure that they're safe from the counter-attack, and yeah, Faith Hunter managing to pull one really good engagement out in the center there, and it's really going to be a game changer this time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Bloodmist is going to need to lift this third base if he wants to save it, whilst he also drops in the main as well, so he's spreading Bloodmist a bit too thin here, I think, and it looks like he's building a bit of a... Yeah, no, the counter drop from Bloodmist as well gets taken down, so I think Faith Hunter might have just actually taken this game back in the same sense that he did with Atsi in that game just before as well.
Yeah, potentially he could get a bit cocky here and push up the ramp, but no, he will just decide to play it safe, get a nice spread on his tanks and pull back for the moment, which is really smart. Might even look to elevator up into the main, as I was talking about before from that third mineral line, but I think he is going to err on the side of caution here for the moment and just siege up and start to contain Bloodmist as Faith does now take his 4th base and starts to out expand, and he will now start to out macro his opponent.
Yeah, no, I think Bloodymyst is in a tough situation. He's doing exactly what Atsy did, where he just goes for the Hail Mary Doom drop. Now, the question will be, oh, it looks like Faith Hunter actually got that scan off in time that he'll be able to spot that drop, or he at least saw the medevacs for it moving out, but looks like that was quickly
Marines actually...
denied.
Yeah, the Marines are actually loading up here in the medevac of... in a couple of medevacs for a drop here, and he actually will spot this hidden third base, so I'm going to deny this even more mining than Bloodymyst, and it could potentially even get this command center with just these 2 carloads of Marines.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like he won't be able to save that in time. It's just another nail in the proverbial coffin for Bloodymyst at the moment. And he needs as few of those as he can possibly get at the moment. But yeah, he's going to actually just move these double medevac drop into the main. Still full medevac, 5 medevacs worth of Marines inside these medevacs. Bloodymyst, and he actually takes care of that force with very few losses, taking out all of the Marines and nearly killing both medevacs.
Yeah, no, but it's just
on
tough.
Bloodymyst's store at the moment, there is a huge amount of siege tanks just slowly pressing forward as he knows that he can, and yeah, it's going to need a miracle engagement for Bloodymyst to pull this around and turn it around. And what he really needs to do here is make something happen by essentially getting a fabulous engagement that just, you know, turns the tide.
He's going to drop on top of the tanks.
Oh yeah, actually doesn't do as much damage as he needs to here. The Marines were in position. He's going to move everything here.
Here comes the charge.
He doesn't have any, he's not got anything left at the moment, so I think we are going to see the GG once again.
Yeah.
Faith Hunter playing really strong in this matchup actually this time against Terran, proving really solid even despite huge amounts of pressure from his opponents, able to weather the storm and take the game.
Yeah, GG comes out now, and I think that pushes Team Night Out to match or game point out to 4-2.
It does indeed.
So we're going to need someone from QED to come out and kill 3 times. Cool. Alright, so we're all set up. So I might do the introductions for this one because I don't need to fiddle with anything, I don't think. So up in the right hand corner of this map we have blue Protoss for Team QED. We have QED Burks. And then in the bottom left hand corner of the map we have the red Terran who's currently pulling his team home in this clan war. We have TN's Faith Hunter.
So we're on GSL Daybreak at the moment. What are your thoughts on this map in the kind of TVP matchup?
From what I've seen in like the GSL and things like that, it's kind of all about damage control. I guess in the sense that kind of when you can establish the 2 bases firmly, it's then kind of a war of attrition to see who can get that 3rd base up and how much damage they sustain, and then who can kind of then push out from there if the game hasn't already ended by that stage, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. I think that we've seen, you know, harassment in terms of drops and warp prisms, especially, you know, obviously in this matchup, used to great effect on this map with the wide airspace around the main and the 3rd, and just generally there are a lot of places to hide air units around the map, so I'm guessing that the drops are going to play quite heavily into that.
Yeah, and
so we'll see how Burks can defend against that if he does end up getting dropped by Faith Hunter.
Yeah, it looks like Faith Hunter's actually in gold. I'm being told from the chat, and that TVT is his best matchup, and that's why it kind of looks the way it does, in the sense that it's like ridiculously good.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, his multitasking was really excellent in that game that we just saw, with him, you know, dropping all over the place and really just showing us how good his TVT really is.
Yeah. So he's getting the scout off here on what Burks, I should say, sorry, is what he's doing. So we're not seeing any forge fast expand kind of things like that, and so he's slowly. Oh, and that SCV decides to pull out instead of going back in as well. That sounded a bit weird, but that's all right.
Yeah, fortunately not a forge fast expand, because he'll be very disturbed to find that his opponent is Terran if he was going for that build. Doesn't work quite as effectively against Terran, I don't think. So he will be going for this 1 gate expand, I would assume. He has chucked down 2 gas, but going for a bit of a Sase style build, it would seem here. Only putting 2 in each assimilator. And there we go, we are going to see that Nexus thrown down just at 25 supply. So standard 1 gate FE coming up from him. And the command center has come down for Faith Hunter already for a 1 racks expand, and he has actually thrown down these 2 racks before the gas, contrary to what we've seen from his Terran versus Terran matchup. So he will be really playing a bio-heavy style in this matchup, as opposed to his tank and medevac more oriented builds that we've seen from him in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this one out without the security that the tanks give him. Maybe that's why he likes the matchup so much, just because of the positional control that it gives him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how he fares with this bio style as opposed to his more favoured marine tank style. But we do have a proxy pylon coming down here for Burks actually, so probably looking to get aggressive off of a 3 gate 2 base timing. It is going to hit kind of relatively softly, but you know, it might be a timing that Faith Hunter isn't used to, and I'm betting that that's what Burks is going to be going for. He has got 2 sentries with this army in the middle of the map at the moment, 2 zealots, a stalker and 2 sentries at the moment, and he is warping in from this forward pylon at the moment. So probably going to look to break this bunker open by force fielding behind it to stop the SCVs from repairing, but good awareness on the watchtower has allowed Faith Hunter to see it, and he's going to be throwing down an extra bunker now.
Yeah, do you think he should be pulling more SCVs than he... Oh, he loses that sentry. That's not a good way to start things. Oh, that stalker, sorry.
Yeah, with good micro, I mean... with good micro, Faith Hunter should be able to hold this just fine with the amount of marines that he has, but... yeah, or not such good control on the stalkers, but no repair on the bunker actually at all, so... the bunker will fall. Zealot's going to chop away at the marines, but the second bunker is up, and Faith Hunter will hold for the moment actually. Burke's losing a lot of quite cost-heavy units there. A sentry, a few stalkers, and quite a lot of zealots, putting him a little bit behind at the moment actually.
Yeah, no, in sense of an army, he's behind, but being able to kind of do that 1 gate kind of expand builds actually put him in quite a good position economically. And he is throwing down that robotics facility, so he's going to probably be able to get out a mortal and a couple of observers just in case Faith Hunter keeps trying to push on now with this small lead that he's garnered. Yeah,
Burks will be looking to take this extra gas on his natural pretty soon if he wants to transition into a Colossus play, which I think is a really good idea at this point. He has seen a lot of marines at the front. He did see 2 bunkers, and he's really using that poke to just gauge what builds Faith Hunter would be going for behind it without actually seeing any tech. So he does know that it's going to be a really biocentric style as opposed to some ridiculous mech or 1-1-1 sort of faked with a bunker at the front, some shenanigans like that. So a transition to Colossus at this point with maybe a 2 Colossus push out would be a really smart idea, but we actually aren't seeing a robotic support bay coming down from Burks at this point, just adding on 2 gateways and a forge, so going to be looking to upgrade, but possibly just sticking to observers and immortals at the moment, which is going to give him awareness for the drops, but
yeah.
You know, I'd really like to see some Colossus out of him at this point.
Now, will he be able to see... Alright, so he's going to be able to see all these marines and marauders are wailing away on the destructible rocks, so that's going to at least let him know what's happening. I'm not sure that Faith Hunter... I mean, he should probably be looking for proxies just around his base, because say Burks holds this attack that's probably coming now, If he went like a Dark Shrine or something really kind of crazy, he could probably catch him out of position and do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, not even with the Dark Shrine, actually. As soon as he sees this push coming, he doesn't have it. He hasn't. Yeah, he has no need, rather, words. He has no need to warp in units back at home. He can actually just, as soon as he sees the army out of position, warp in, 3 or 4 zealots back at this proxy pylon and just send them straight into the main and natural mineral lines of Faith Hunter and pull the army back out of position, and it'll buy him enough time to get up the tech that he wants, which it does look like it's going to be possibly Twilight tech. So well, it's definitely Twilight tech, but possibly Templar tech for Storm. Maybe looking to transition late game into Zealot Archon. I know he does quite like that style of play. Actually opting to get shields upgrade first, and there's the charge. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for a really cost-efficient mix of charge lots with Archons. And against this pure Bioforce, with not many Marauders at all, and no real Tier 2 or Tier 3 tech to speak of from Faith Hunter, it is going to pay off in bounds for Burks here.
Yeah, nice positioning of that Observer as well. That's going to just give him a great picture of what's actually on the map. And if you have a look at like his vision, he's actually got quite good kind of information of what's on the map and where it is at the moment. There's not much that he really doesn't know about, and yeah, I think he should be able to hold this quite easily as Storm comes down into High Templar come into play.
Yeah, the scan does go down into the natural here, just to weigh up the forces that we do have here from Burks, and Burks being really smart about this, knowing that he isn't going to finish in time to use really fast DPS on the flyer. He's doing so much, and the slowdown on the charges of the Marauders actually doing a lot of damage there, but just the cost efficiency of this mix of Sentry, Zealot, Archon, it's very, very cost efficient at what it does. The Zealot's tanking damage at the front and Archon's doing splash at the back. Really paying off quite nicely here for Burks, and as you were saying just now with the map awareness that he had, Faith Hunter did try to lift up and drop into the main, but that was denied by 2 Stalkers that were actually on patrol, so really excellent map awareness from Burks, and a really sick play actually, following up his 3-gate pressure with some Zealot Archon. That's the last kind of thing that you expect in this matchup at the moment, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with these Templar now on the field, and they're going to start accumulating the all-important energy. Now that Storm has finished and he is taking his third, it's going to come down to what I was kind of talking about at the... Oh, we found one of the proxy pylons. It's going to come down to that kind of cost or damage control situation where he needs to try and have this third base up for as long as possible to make it worth its while. And it looks like these medevacs are actually going to fly through the path of the Observer. Sorry, I keep saying Overseer. So that's going to mean that he's quite well equipped to it, hopefully. Yep, and in comes the Stalker.
Yeah, and Burks straight on top of his multitasking here manages to nearly take out the medevac, but yeah, excellent map control from him. Excellent awareness and yeah, just good multitasking.
Oh no, he's fine.
Yeah, but he's got the right idea of the moment. He is walking in his front. Unfortunately, they are on the same hotkey as the command. Perfect round there, but yeah, wow, actually catching a lot of bio just, in the middle of nowhere. At this point, the Terran really needs to have the supply lead, and he really does. He's not going to be able to trade close to ever. Nice force fields from Burks. Maybe not, but he does manage to pick off the medevac, and a lot of forces here going to be denying this third base for a long time, and it's looking like Burks really has a plan. Faith Hunter going to be stimming back and trying to kite these zealots. Tanking so much damage with the shields right now, just positive shields.
Nice.
Positive armor, so yeah, excellent force fields on the ground. They're trapping his own units outside.
Oh no, he's attacking the rocks.
Useless, but he's attacking the rocks. Oh dear. He doesn't even need to fight the army head on at this point. Just so much, just so many units here from Burks, managing to steamroll the entire army, and an emergency planetary fortress here at the natural for Faith Hunter. just going to pull all the SCVs off the line and hope that he can hold this off for as long as possible until he can make some sort of a sizable force to counterattack. He is going to have to...
Oh, nice storms.
Oh, 6 storms. Managing to nearly kill a lot of SCVs with those storms. I don't think we've seen Ghosts out on the field yet, despite the Ghost camera getting up. Really helped him out there. His planetary fortress will fall with no repair going down. Yeah, it's going to be GG. There it is.
Nicely done. Alright, so Burke's actually able to bring that one back in QED's favour, and we're now going into game, I believe it might be game 8. This will be the 8th game of tonight.